What's good, y'all? My name is Rorvis Paradox, aka Docs Brando. I'd like to welcome you all to another installment of Rorvis Reviews. It's been a while since I reviewed some music for y'all. It's been like a couple of weeks, give or take. So I decided to give y'all two albums that have released this year that not too many people, well, a few people are fond of and few people don't really want to talk about. And that's an album from Mr. Childish Gambino and Bossman D-Lo. So lock in. I'm gonna be able to talk about these two albums for quite a bit. So, enjoy yourself, get yourself a little bev or something, make sure everything cool, copacetic. So without further ado, let's get into it. Exactly. Now, the first album I'm going to be talking about is Bando Stone in the New World by Childish Gambino. Now, this is the last album under the moniker Childish Gambino, so says Donald Glover. Now, he truly digs deep and to look back at his career, and he has created a project that feels like an advanced form of all his albums combined, or at least, in my opinion, his strong suits. And I am a real fan of Gambino, but I do love Gambino when he's singing more than when he's rapping. And that's no slight to his rapping ability. I am a real defender of Camp. I am a true believer that because of the internet, it's definitely one of the best albums from the 2010s. But Awaken My Love, that album right here, to this day, this is still his best work. And I think he believes so too, because there's a huge let me rephrase that. The singing songs outweigh the rapping songs tremendously on this album. It's not even close. Like, it's at least a 730 split, maybe 80-20, honestly. They outweigh them, and I think that he's always been a rapper that, did singing within his music, but it was definitely towards the back end of his career when he realized that that's really where his niche was. That's where he could really shine as an artist. And this is definitely shown throughout this album in certain areas, in certain doses. Awaken My Love, that's where he really shined with the singing. But this one, it feels like he did a great job of just being himself, as well as the use of the small doses of features. It's not a lot of features on this album, but the ones that are on here make their moment count. Now, my only problem with this album, and it's just a little, it's not that big of a deal, but I can feel that it was inspired by Yeezus. Maybe a little too much. Now, if you don't know Yeezus, it's an album by Kanye West, and it's definitely a more blaring album. There's a certain group of fans that really cherish that album, and there's many people like me who think it's on the bottom end of Kanye's discography. But what I'm trying to get at is there's certain parts of this album where the production has certain inflections that just screams Yeezus, just like the way it's mixed. And I don't know, sometimes it kind of rubs me the wrong way. It doesn't take away from the whole album, but it's definitely something that I noticed while listening. Now, why am I still just talking about all this when I can really dig deep and get into the highlights? Now, I think the songs where he is singing are completely better than the songs rapping. You can already tell how I felt about that, but it's really noticeable just in structure and how with replayability. There's just, I don't know. It's just I feels like he thinks about how he creates these songs differently compared from the singing to the rapping. Now, to start off, one of my favorite songs, a highlight of this album is Lithonia, which has this bombastic production and very simple lyrics. There's nothing too crazy, but like the way these two pair together just works so well. It's just something that makes the song good to listen to and easy to repeat these lyrics. Now, Steps Beach is one of them ones, it's just a smooth song that just gets me doing my little two step. Nothing too crazy, just just a little vibe at creating. Like you could slow dance with somebody to it. Real Love is a very cheesy, but again, a simple song, but I like it. Sometimes you don't need nothing too advanced. You don't need to do anything out of the norm. Sometimes the simple lyrics over good music just works well, and that's just how I feel about that one. And the night featuring Georgia Smith and Amaya Ray. That's how I'm gonna say it. I'm sorry if it's incorrect. It's just I think it's a pretty excellent song. I think it's well executed. I think that Gambino and Georgia's chemistry during the song, just like a certain portion of it, it was just very beautiful, and I enjoyed that. And I really wanted more of it. And Amara, she's there, she cool. I think probably didn't really need her on this song. That's just my opinion. It could have been just more Georgia Smith, and it really took over the top. But when Georgia Smith is singing, chef's kiss. Production was great for her and really let her do her thing. Now, Can You Feel Me featuring Legend? I believe this is supposed to be his son, and this it just felt like a nice song to listen to. It was just like enjoyable hearing this father son duo go at it, and you could tell that the son is younger, and just feels like a memory that's gonna be good for them to look back on, and I appreciate that. I really did love it. It just I don't know, just warms my heart hearing listen to the song. Nothing too crazy, but you don't need to on this song. Now, Running Around, this track in particular feels so 2000s alternative rock. Like it's it's kind of hilarious. Like you could like sneak this into like a 2000s movie. That's maybe a 2000s parody movie, and no one will even mind it at all. It'll just not stick out. It just feels like it blends in with the time now. It's not nothing bad when I say that. It's just it is what it is. It feels somewhat not too generic, but again, it doesn't feel like of this time. And it's a cool song, but that's just something that I noticed. And it's a highlight, but also, maybe a little criticism with that. No Excuses. This song right here is generally beautiful. This is a 7-minute song, and right about that half point, Kasami Washington is just playing the saxophone wonderfully during the whole back end, like for the full half, because the 7 minutes he gets his own 3.5 minutes and just goes off, and just wonderful to listen to. Just one of those tracks where just like if you're a person that likes listening to just instrumental, you're gonna get that at this point of the song. Now, Gambino is doing a little bit of singing, but he's not doing too much. He's really letting the production speak for itself, because um his long time, well, not long time, the person that helped him create Awaken My Love, Ludwig, has feature credits on the song as well. So it's really just him and the other producers just creating a pretty impeccable vibe with this song, and just lets it just ride out. Now, Davik is just a smooth song where the production and his vocals just come together to make a great track. Nothing, nothing to write home about, but again, this feels like he wasn't trying to. I think this whole project is just a great send off to what he was trying to, what Childish Gambino meant to him. Not to get into like the rap songs, Survive verses are cool, but the hook is the hook with Chloe is what gets me. I think she didn't have too much of a role in here, but like she really kind of just added that extra sprinkle of garnish on top of it that made the hook great. Hook, like I said, the verses were cool, nothing too crazy from him. It felt like he was just trying to hold back on this one. Talk My Shit. Gambino's not the highlight of this. Like, that's whatever. The standout is Flo Milli's verse. Flo Milli was rapping her ass off, and that 2 Chainz bar that she did, I need to listen to more Flo Milli. This is what this verse is telling me. I just need to listen to more Flo Milli. But Yoshinoya, second half of the track is just all rapping, and I enjoyed the flow that he had on here. I like the cadence. It wasn't his usual. Cruising featuring Yeet, production towards the end of the song was on a cinematic level. Yeet, another one of those rappers, just all he has to do is stick to his lane and he's gonna be okay. And he didn't add too much to the song. He just did his thing, and I appreciate his work. Now, my favorite song off this album would easily be "A Place Where Love Goes," and its energy is all over the place, and it pinpoints its attack on your spirit. Like I really feel it in my soul when I'm hearing this song, and just like it's like the production, the beats is just all throughout the body, and just it just gets me going. It's already been on my 2024 Songs of the Year playlist that I've been working on, and anytime it comes on, it makes me want to run it back real quick because again, I really do love this song. It feels like, well, not just feels like, he starts the song off with a short verse, but immediately gets into the singing, combining both sides of his artistry. And I think Gambino concludes his final album triumphantly. I really enjoyed this project. All in all, I would say I usually don't want to rate albums. It's not like the same, it doesn't feel right on the same scale as when I do films, but if I was to put a number to this, I'll probably say I'm gonna give it 8. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 for Bando Stone and the New World. The New World. Now, I might drop it down lower or not, depending on what I feel like, because I don't even know how I'm gonna do the end of the year list if I'm gonna use a rating system with that. But for right now, I'm gonna go ahead and give it 8 out of 10. Solid conclusion for Childish Gambino. Now, the last album I'm going to be talking about today is Mr. Beat the Road by Bossman D-Lo. Now, it might be a stretch to say this, but 2024 feels like the year of D-Lo. With an album filled to the brim with infectious songs, D-Lo was able to create a wave that has not ended. From TikTok to barbershops to college football commentators, Bossman had people knowing his songs and quoted them all over the place. If you aren't rapping a verse or singing a hook from at least one of these songs, then there is something wrong with you. There's nothing else I can say, honestly. He just has figured out a perfect lane for himself in the rap game, and it's truly amazing to see it happen. He has crafted hit songs that have immense replay value. For example, songs like Get In With Me, Talk My Shit, or Mr. Pot Scraper, and most songs on this album have only one verse and get right back into the hook. So it means it's instantly able to just like start from the top, boom, get right back to it. And with an album that is 17 songs and only 39 minutes, that says a lot that it's the songs that truly matter to this album is the reason that it keeps going and it feels longer than it actually is. The album doesn't overstay its welcome at all. And with the sense that it makes you just want to run back to your favorite tracks, just like, because it doesn't really matter if you're listening to the whole album. You could just be like start from top one more time, again, go to my other favorite song, start that one back from top, let the album roll. I don't know, it makes you just picky choosy for certain tracks, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, that's how I feel about this album. Now, a little criticism, just one that I noticed from this project is that the heavy hitters on this project, the hits, overshadow the other songs crazy, like a kaiju level of towering over the other tracks. It makes me wonder what was his process when he created his biggest hits compared to the other songs, because it doesn't really feel he gave the same attention to the rest of these songs. Like it's not like too lackluster, but like there's just certain portions where it's just like he could have brought more energy to it. But again, I still think this album, you could just play from top to bottom, no problem. If you want to mess around with how you listen to it, that's okay too. But I think overall it was a very solid project. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and get into the highlights. And one highlight is I do truly appreciate the cadence and flow that he uses. He just has a way of rapping that, not just the lyrics, it's just like how he sounds, like his flow. You end up just talking like him just cause it's just like, I don't know what it is. It just gets you going. It's just, again, infectious. It's just plain and simple. There ain't nothing else I can say. So many sports bars within this album. A notable one that caught my attention was, my diamonds hitting like Ray Lewis, and there's a Paul Gasol bar, there's a DeAndre Hopkins bar, there's a Tyreek Hill bar, Patrick Mahomes bar. He just get throwing them off the top, and that's just him in general. He just loves that. As well as I never heard a rapper talk about speeding so much at a dangerous level. Like somebody needs to help him. Maybe he needs a designated driver. Because when you talking about, being taken, like I don't love my life. Like insane. But to get into the songs, Getting With Me, one of the biggest songs off this project, if not the biggest. So many quotes from this. So many people have used it. Verses, like what I was mentioning earlier when talking about this album, portions of the song getting mentioned in football games. Like this right here is one of the ones. This is like the first time I actually heard it fully was when I was in the barbershop getting cut up, and instantly it clicked why he had all this buzz around him. Now, Mr. Pot Scraper, one of my favorite songs. Pretty simple, just get to the point. Just one of those songs about getting out the mud. Talk My Shit, probably the catchiest song that he has on here. So many quotables on this song. And this is probably the biggest song on TikTok. So I've seen so many different videos just using portions of this song. It's ridiculous. Obama Runt's production just bump, and probably my favorite line from the album is off of this track, that fat nigga keep a loaf of bread. I've been saying this line randomly for like at least 2 months. It doesn't matter if I'm at the crib, at work, I'm saying it. If somebody hear me, it's not my fault. It's Bossman D-Lo. I'm blaming him, because it just gets stuck in your head and you have no choice but to just rap the lyric out just to get it out. All in all, if I'm giving it a rating, I'm gonna say for right now, I'm gonna give it 7 out of 10. And I did talk pretty highly of the album, but 7 out of 10 isn't really bad. It's just that I think he has more to offer. I think he can. I did enjoy the listen of this album for the most part, but like I said earlier, the heavy hitters definitely out. My favorite songs outweigh the songs I'm cool with to like have no real emotion towards. I feel like his next album, let the Most High be willing, is gonna be a project even full of more bangers from top to bottom to give the people what they need, and that's more Bossman D-Lo, Big Za. Now, I just chose these two albums because I don't feel like a lot of people are talking about the full-length projects from Bossman D-Lo, as well as I think Bando Stone and the New World isn't getting the attention it deserves, just because there's other things around it around the time it's released, as well as including Childish Gambino redistributing the previous album under a different title, which has maybe some better songs on that album compared to this one, but that's in there, here nor there. I just think these are two cool albums from this year, and I've enjoyed a lot of albums that came out this year, as much as I love there are many films that are coming out this year. And so I just thought, why not talk about these two right here? But now I gotta ask, do you feel the same way about the last Gambino album? Do you feel the same way about Bossman D-Lo? Is he only known for the hits, or do you agree with me thinking that this project is pretty solid? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you're liking, commenting, and already subscribe to the channel. Make sure you're sharing this content with people you think will like it. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers. We're trying to make that big money, and we're trying to get our pockets filled up. You know what I'm saying? At least my pockets filled up, because when I'm getting the money, I can make better content, and then you can feel even happier. Cool. This has been Docs Bando, aka Rorvis Paradox. This has been Rorvis Reviews, and I'll see you again next time. Peace.